Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox, and I'm going to show you and talk about this knife. No, it's not an advertisement. I don't think you can buy one. Okay, so start right there. Don't get your defenses up. This knife right here, I'm going to tell you all about it, but first I must tell you a story. And I'd love to tell you it's a blood-curdling story, but I'm feeling a mite parched. Long ago in the valley of the Delaware with the peaceful band of Indians. No, long ago I was at a conference in the region, a prepper, I think it was a prepper show, and it was, and I was one of the speakers. You know, they had vendors and everything there. And I met a fella, and he was cool, and we discussed smoking pipes and whatnot, and found out he was a blacksmith, and I thought that was cool, and I told him that I'd always wanted to learn how to blacksmith. And lo, he contacted me, and he became my guru, my mentor, my master blacksmith. Everything I know about blacksmithing, I learned from him. He is our very own, here on Viking Preparedness, Jeremiah. And so he keeps telling me, I'm not a master blacksmith. I'm like, you're a master blacksmith compared to me. You taught me. And so he gave me this knife. He actually gave me two of them, and he said, use one. Really test it out. I want your honest opinion on what you think about it, and give the other one to somebody else and have them test it out. So I gave the other knife to another famous personality who may get around to doing a video or something on it. But I've had this for about 2 months, and I've worn it every day. I wear it on my belt at the 1:30, 2 o'clock position. And so let's talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. It's going to be an honest review, but it's going to be a good review. First of all, the sheath. This sheath was made by Matt Tate at American Survival Company. I know him. He is a great survival instructor. He knows what he's doing, and clearly he knows what he's doing with Kydex. Now, this is a what's called a scout sheath. That's the configuration of it, and you stick your belt through it, and it rides horizontally on your belt. This knife replaced as my daily wear my Mora 2000, and my Mora 2000 hangs straight down. This one I had to figure out where I want. You know, I don't really like the scout configuration, even though I've worn it for 2 months. I wear it, like I said, about the 2 o'clock position, and so this sticks out a little bit to the front. I think most people who wear it in scout configuration, small of the back. I don't like that, though, because if we're going to fight and I end up on my back on the ground hard, that's bad on your vertebrae, and so I don't really like keeping things there. And so I wore it up front, and, you know, it's fine. I wear it on my right side because I'm primarily right-handed with a knife, and so that's where it goes. It's a good sheath. It holds the knife very securely. It's ambidextrous. The way you get it out is you just put your thumb on here and pull it out, and there it goes. No issues with the sheath. It's a professional grade sheath. So there's that. Let's talk about the knife. Of the two, this was the larger one, and I picked it not because it was the larger one, but because I like the way the handle felt in my hand. So I guess we'll start there. It's made out of micarta. It is epoxied and pinned onto the steel, which is a full tang knife, as you can see. And this is hand forged, right? This thing was beat upon with a hammer when it was glowing red yellow. It gets a little bit thicker as it goes to the back, so it won't slip out of your hand that way. When I grab this handle, no matter what configuration I grab it in, and it's easy to flip it around into different configurations, it doesn't move. It's perfect. I love it. It feels great. There's no guard. You know, your hand could slip forward and slice yourself wide open. Yeah, so hang on to the knife. Don't let that happen. I haven't cut myself, so it's great. I love the blade shape. The reason I like blade shapes, this is what I call it, has belly. See the curve there? I'm a Filipino martial arts practitioner, and I do a lot of slicing, and so I like curvy blades like that because you get more slice for the motion. So I liked that about it. I think it's a great size. Here's how big it is. I didn't skin anything. Nothing's really in season. but it would make a good skinning knife, and you could choke up on it all the way there if you wanted to. You can see that it's thick towards the handle, and then it thins out as it gets up there. I think it's the perfect thickness. I just like the little curve in it a lot. What did I use this for? Because I carried it every day for about 2 months. Primarily, I used it to cut the string when I was weed whacking and baling twine, which it does with a plum. No problems there. If I was an unboxing video guy, you'd have seen me, all the boxes I've gotten in the last 2 months, I opened with this. You know, so it's great for that. I didn't torture test it. This is my knife. I don't want to break this knife. I don't want to torture test. I used it like a knife. That's what I did. I didn't stick it in concrete and hit it with a hammer. You know, why would I do that? But, you know, so it did that. I really wanted to carve something with it. So today, because it was getting a little bit long, and he didn't bug me. Jeremiah didn't say, hey, where's the review? But I was feeling the pressure on myself. And so I went out to my woodshed. I got a piece of seasoned oak, and basically I made a feather stick down one edge of this oak piece of firewood. I wanted to see, one, would it slice like that after everything I've done with it? Yes. Two, would it hold up or would it dull very quickly? Was it soft wood, you know, soft steel cutting into seasoned oak? No problem, you know, all the way up the thing. I don't do videos like that, so no, I'm not showing it to you, but that's what I did. I did it right over there, right before this. And then what I wanted to do was sharpen it. And so I took it and I sharpened it up on a tri-hone. I used the medium and the fine, and I've already, this is second take, so I already have a bald spot on my arm, but for the sake of this video, I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Jeremiah, I think it's sharper now than when you gave it to me, brother. So, yeah, there's that. It gets wicked sharp, right? That's kind of gross, I know, but you know, it's a good test, right? Yeah, it takes a fine edge. When he gave it to me, it was very shiny. I've seen several of his knives that he makes, and he always buffs them out really shiny. I don't like shiny knives. This is carbon steel, and after a week or so, it started to develop little rust. And I know how to take care of carbon steel, oil it, you know, yada yada. But man, this is a using knife, and I'm a working man, and so I thought, let's try the vinegar treatment. So I did the vinegar bluing process, and it turned kind of brown, like a brown Bess musket. Got hair on there, yuck. And so I really like it. And then today when I sharpened it, you know, you can kind of see where it came out. It got shinier once I sharpened it over the vinegar blue, or whatever you call it, browning that I did. But I really like the way that turned out. I know Jeremiah's probably going, what did you do to my beautiful knife? I buffed it. Yeah, I like it like this. I just like the way this looks. It looks like an ancient knife. It looks like, you know, an old Viking knife or medieval knife or something. I've named it Fang, and the Norse word for Fang is Fang. So that's what I've named it, because it kind of looks like one. It works great. I love it a lot. And like I said, this isn't an advertisement. I have no idea how you can get one of these or what it would cost. I just don't. It's Westhold Forge. I don't even know if he has a website. He might have a Facebook page or something. Westhold Forge. But I like this knife. And this knife will go to one of my sons after a while. Like a long while, like years. I'm going to continue carrying it. Because I like it so much, and I think it's got a high cool factor. It's not finished like production quality. I wouldn't love it if it was. Those look like sterile, like, you know, everyone's got one of those. This one has personality in it, and it's so uber functional. When I do a camp out, I don't camp out in this stuff. It's too hot. Can you see this? And there's chiggers and ticks. This knife will be going along, and it'll slice my steak and everything else. Great knife from our own Jeremiah, my blacksmith master guru. The sheath is made by Matt Tate, American Survival Company. I love it. Jeremiah, it's a great knife. You should make lots of them. That's my opinion on it. And if you do, I'll advertise them for you, because I really like this one. All right, this is Fang, made by our own Jeremiah at Westhold Forge. And again, I have no idea how you can get one. I really don't. I mean, I think it's probably a one of, but I don't know. Maybe he'll comment. All right. I enjoyed making this video. I enjoyed getting ready to make this video over the last 2 months. What do y'all think about it? What kind of knives do you like? All right. Oh, I said this in the first take. Jeremiah, one thing I like personally, I really like lanyard holes. They probably didn't have them in ancient knives, so it'd probably detract from it. So maybe you're not going to do that. But I like lanyard holes. Just put a thong in there or something, you know, with the little brass barrel or something. I would have liked that. I'm not going to put one in it. This knife is this knife now. It's just like, it has its own personality and we get along. We're not going to change anything on it. But I like that. And also he made my wife a hoe, and he makes lots of things. Cool guy. Jeremiah, the Viking, Westhold Forge. This is Fang. That's what I named it. All right. I'll see you out there. Thanks, Jeremiah.